Hello, and thank you for joining me here today. I hope that you are doing well. We are here for books, and today is 2 for 1. So the last book for June that I pulled out of the to be read jar was The Last Laugh by Mindy McManus. It is a mystery, and it is the second book in a duology. The first book is the Initial Insult. And since I have wanted to read The Initial Insult since we got it in, I decided that I would read them both and talk about them here today. The Initial Insult series, both The Initial Insult and The Last Laugh, take place in Amontillado, Ohio. And Amontillado, Ohio gets its name from the Edgar Allan Poe story, The Cask of Amontillado. I love Edgar Allan Poe. And so any book that is based on a Poe story, I am more than happy to read. If you've read The Cask of Amontillado, you might have an idea about where this book is headed. I will say the ending took me by surprise. So let's start with The Initial Insult. Tress's parents disappeared 7 years ago. Almost. They were driving her friend Felicity home from a sleepover during the night because Felicity got scared and just really wanted to go home. They never returned. Felicity was found along the edge of the river, a little battered, but alive. Since that night, Tress's life has changed dramatically. She no longer has a loving home. She now lives with her grandfather, who runs a wildlife zoo that has questionable practices. Tress helps take care of the animals and does much of the work at the zoo. Her friendship with Felicity has faded since her parents disappeared. Felicity's life has also changed. She appears to have it all: looks, money, and a secret. She worked hard to make everyone forget that she was with Tress's parents the night they disappeared. The only thing she actually can remember about that night is someone carrying her out of the water and placing her on the bank of the river. Tress has a plan. She believes that Felicity knows what happened. A Halloween party at an abandoned house, the Allen house, is the perfect opportunity for Tress to finally get some answers. What she needs to do is distract Hugh, Felicity's maybe boyfriend, who keeps watch over her and takes extremely good care of her. She'll also need to keep an eye on her cousin Ribbit to make sure he does not drink. When Ribbit drinks, he gets really drunk, even if he just drinks a little. And he's not mean, he's not violent. He actually loses all his inhibitions and does what anybody tells him to do, a fact that his classmates take advantage of for their own enjoyment and to humiliate Ribbit. Added to this, one of the animals at the wildlife zoo just may have gotten out, which could have very dangerous consequences. The Last Laugh picks up the story the following morning. Tress must deal with the fallout from the party and attempt to hide what happened in the Allen house. A task that is not so easy considering all of the pain that she's in and her worsening infection. In a few short days, Tress will turn 18, a day that, coincidentally, is the 7th anniversary of the day her parents disappeared. On that day, her parents will be considered legally dead, and Tress will inherit everything they had. Ribbit is recovering from his party experience. It doesn't help that word of what happened at the party went viral. But he's determined to be a hero, and more. There's also the matter of a strange woman who's looking for Tress. Someone Tress is very certain is only going to ask her questions she does not want to answer. The series is surprising and good. There are plot twists and turns in both books, and I was completely drawn into both stories. In fact, I read them both in under a week. I've been reading a lot of mysteries lately, as you know, and so we are going to focus on other mysteries to read for a similar experience. We'll start with I'm Not Missing by Carrie Fountain, which is more YA contemporary, but it does include a mystery at its core. Miranda's mom left her and took everything. Afterwards, Miranda turned to her friendship with Sid, who is also motherless. Suddenly, Sid runs away, and Miranda is once again abandoned and wondering why Sid left, where she went. The only clue she has is Sid's cell phone containing one text from him. On her own and searching for answers, Miranda stumbles into a relationship, and she's learning what it means to truly be seen by another. All the Things We Do in the Dark by Saundra Mitchell, which is YA contemporary mystery. Something happened to Ava. She bears a scar to prove it, but she wants nothing more than to keep what happened buried. She has her best friend Sid, who is covered with tattoos like a security blanket. She also has a new friend, Haley, who is very sweet. Ava is finally seeking peace. But in the woods outside of town, someone else's secret lies waiting for Ava to discover. And what Ava finds might topple her carefully built wall of normalcy. Secrets leave a mark. When a secret is not your own, do you ignore it or uncover it? When uncovering it might reopen wounds that have finally begun to heal. You'll Be the Death of Me by Karen M. McManus. And she's another author that I love. Ivy, Mateo, and Cal. They used to be friends, but now Ivy lost a student council election to the class clown, and she's dealing with the humiliation. Mateo is exhausted. Ever since his family lost their business, he's been working 2 jobs. And Cal, he was just stood up again. Cal pulls into campus late one day and runs into both Ivy and Mateo. All 3 of them are having a bad day. And they all decide that they're going to ditch and go into the city. It'll be like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, until they spot another classmate skipping school. They follow him to the scene of his own murder. Their day is about to get much worse. Each of them has a connection to the other student, and they are all hiding something. Now, they're left wondering if their chance reunion was really chance after all. And there we are. I hope that you enjoyed this look at The Initial Insult and The Last Laugh. If you enjoy mysteries, I really do encourage you to read them both. And now we've completed our books for June. I will be back in early July when we will discover what I'm reading in July. Until then, I hope that you enjoy all that you read and all that you do. And thank you.